afternoon. We're here with Roy Kendall from Top of the Range. How you doing, Roy?
Very well, thank you. Physically.
Good stuff. Nice to have you here. Thank you very much for joining us. So yeah, if you could just kick things off by telling us a little bit about who you are, what you do, how long you've been doing it for, please.
We're in a bespoke marketplace in as much as we are the only distributor to all four groups that supply retail outlets for defence, and what we call BTW, behind the wire. So it's Army, Navy, Air Force, Royal Marines, Royal Gurkha Regiment, and there's four large groups, very large groups. It used to be come under the umbrella of NAFI, Navy, Army, Air Force Institution. From that now, NAFI run several locations offshore, Brunei, Ascension Islands, Gibraltar, and Falkland Islands, and Germany, and also HMS, all the shipping. The rest are in UK based in the main. We also supply to Cyprus, Belize, and other places, with bits that soldiers, sailors, and airmen need, from Kiwi boot polish to boot brushes to protein drinks to cookers to upmarket socks, comfort items for them.
Brilliant. And how long's the business been going for?
We're 30 years young, September next year.
Just the 30 years. That's some achievement in business. Congratulations, well done. That's all good. So in terms of that 30 years and kind of going over the last 2 or 3, we ask each business owner we interview about the pandemic and how that affected things for them. What was the biggest impact for yourselves there?
In the first 3 weeks, we were 95% down in sales, which is not survivable. I thought we were going to go.
Yeah.
I've got to give the government of the day their absolute due. The furlough scheme and the £10,000 grant. The £10,000 grant meant, and it was in the bank very quickly, meant I could pay everybody without going through. So from that, let's go that way.
That's all right.
And then from that, it picked up, and then we brought the warehouse people back, because I put them on furlough, accepted furlough, and then because the MOD, in their infinite wisdom, they went like that, and they went, everybody go home, and then they said, everybody come back, but you're confined to camp. So not only did we regain that loss, we picked up and had a very positive year, because all the soldiers and sailors were confined to camp.
Sure.
So they had nowhere else to go, and that was a big help. Also, by then we'd instigated, we call it auto ordering, you can call it EDI, push ordering. We instigated that with 2 of the main big UK customers. There's only 3 in the UK. The third one's hopefully coming on board. So because the reps couldn't get out, obviously, because of COVID, and with the best will in the world sitting on the phone, people do not buy. But because of the push ordering system, we came through it with comfort.
That's good. So is that push ordering system, is that something that you've kept since the pandemic?
Oh, yeah.
And it's
with the price of fuel, as it is at the moment, I don't really want the reps doing 30,000 miles a year.
Yeah.
We've got 2 reps. I mean, that's a lot of money. So the push ordering. So now what we do is we concentrate on refits and tidying up areas and any new shops that come on, which is not so often now, because we're in, to the best of my knowledge, outside of Benbecula, which is in the Outer Hebrides, we're in every military camp.
Okay, cool. Thank you for that. So in terms of what you can see the future looking like from this point, if you have a crystal ball, as much as you can, and what do you see the main challenges are going ahead?
The main challenges for us at the moment is the volatility of the pound, because we do directly import under our own brand. That's hurt. Then the shipping has settled down now. However, it did go originally from 3 months from date of order and pay. 3 months later, we'd get the goods. During COVID, it went up to 7 months and went up 1,200%. That really hurt. That was painful. However, with lots of explanations, lots of these meetings, we convinced the customer that we weren't being horrible, unduly horrible.
Yeah.
It's been accepted now. Every now and then there's pushback, and we try our best. So going forward, what it did affect us was cash flow. We were hammered. However, touch wood, we have bought the stock. We're sitting on the stock. So whereas we have to order by the hundreds instead of by the tens, it does mean I've got the hundreds in stock. So it was very close, really close. Sleepless nights and all the rest of the stuff that we all go through. However, so going back to your original question, what's the forward? The forward to us is to gain more security, which we are doing, in as much as I'm sat on all the stock in the warehouse, it's all been paid for. That's security to me. And then we're looking at other militaries, like the Dutch are talking to us at the moment, and others. We spoke briefly to the United Nations. They didn't come on board. So when they go into places, like with the volatility of the war ongoing at the moment, there's shops being set up. Well, we supply those shops, so it is risky in as much as the threats would be a big war, because then the blokes, the men and women, are not in the camps. However, they normally set up shops in theatre, and we so there's some volatility, but the threats are somebody else coming along that's less expensive than me that can do a better service. Bearing in mind we've been doing it 3 decades, they would have to come in with some serious money behind them to be able to do that. So we're as comfortable and as confident as we can be without exceptions.
The unforeseen. Cool. Thanks, Roy. That's a good insight there. So moving to yourself, really, as a business owner, and reflecting on the biggest learning that you could share with us on being in business, if you can pick one, what would that be?
Management of staff. Time management and cash flow management. All comes down to management.
And in what respect? Where are the learnings in those, do you think?
Prior to setting this up, I had 17 years. I was 17 years with the Royal Engineers, and my more or less last 6 months was in charge of the guard room and people that had been a bit naughty. There's a completely different way of managing people when you're out here, and it took me a while to learn how to speak in a way that wasn't as perhaps direct as I was used to.
How did you learn to overcome that? What helped you to adapt?
Ask people. Communication, I think, would be the biggest key. I'm in an open office now. There's people around me. Like Sue's been down the back there. She's down the back from camera. She's been with us 24 years. The Southern Area Rep has been with us 25, I think. So I talk to people and ask them, and please and thank you goes a long way. And now we've got a team that's very, very close knit, very close knit.
Good stuff.
And staff training.
Yeah.
Go out to play. Go out for lunch. Get some pizzas brought in. Get some whatever. I don't care. Do it. And we do a. Allegedly, we do it every month. We haven't been doing it, in fairness. We do a PMI, Papa Mike India. It's positive, minus, and interesting. And everybody's got to speak. They've got to say some positives.
Yeah,
lovely here. It's great. You've got to say some minuses. Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. And everybody's in the same room at the same time. And then the I for interesting. I mean, what are we doing next? Are we bringing in our own brand? Are we doing this? Are we doing that? We've got a schedule attached to it. We've got, what's the aim? I'm very, very clear with my communication about what the aim is. Then we attach a schedule to it, and then we go to work.
Great share. Thank you.
That one.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it sounds like a good structure in terms of helping to organise that communication within your company like that. Thank you very much. So, in terms of either stepping back in time and meeting yourself at 18, or perhaps offering advice to a younger person going into business, or someone just starting out, what's the kind of best piece of advice you could offer? Again, if there's one.
Work for somebody else and learn while you're getting paid, and set up the side gig and research. I knew this game before I got into it. I knew the environment. I actually knew some of the people. I started off on the markets in as much as we would go to army bases and set up like a market stall trader. And you quickly learn.
Oh, yeah.
And it's hard work. It's hard graft. I mean, it's you earn your money, but it was good fun, great fun.
Was that the foundation for what you were going to do?
Yes. So if you know your market, you know your goods, and you're prepared to work, I would say as someone starting out, that be warned, it's all encompassing. There is no sleep, and it's your fault. I don't care whether, you know what I mean, the internet goes down. As far as everybody else is here concerned, that's my problem. Sort it out. If there's an earthquake, it's my problem. It's my fault. And be prepared to take the responsibility for absolutely everything. The good, the bad.
It's a good share again, that kind of ownership aspect of being in business, and responsibility and accountability, being above the line or above the plate power. Yeah,
there is no option. There's no point. I've spoken to loads of SMEs, owners and directors or whatever, and further up the line at corporate, and it doesn't matter. Get the job, achieve the aim. Again, set out the aim, attach a schedule, go to work. It's as uncomplicated as that.
Cool.
I think. Yeah. And there's be prepared to carry some tissues with you, because you're going to be crying. At some point, they're going to be in tears.
That's it. You've got to get there. There's things along the way to overcome, but yeah, it's that clarity in the direction. Thank you. It's another good share. And so, what's inspiring you at the moment, Roy? Is there anything that, say, you're reading or listening to, or perhaps maybe the work that you do with the people, the team, things like that? Any inspirations you'd like to share?
I didn't quite get all of that. Did you say what books am I reading, or what am I?
Well, as a general inspirations, what's inspiring you at the moment to do what you do? So it may be that you're reading a specific book or listening to something, or it could be that the people that you work with. You've mentioned your team, you have a close-knit team there, and that's inspiring, or the work that you actually do. Just any inspirations that you feel worthy of sharing.
I'm 62. My son is inspiring me a lot at the moment by using things like this.
Yeah.
He's also, I'm partially dyslexic. He's far better at it than me, and he listens to business books on the way to and from work. And so to use and embrace what we've got available. My first mobile phone, I used to have to hire for 2 weeks to go to Germany and come back, and couldn't afford to use it. Whereas now it's just WhatsApp, Zoom, whatever, and it's,
yeah,
you go to McDonald's and it's free. Embrace the change. We're small enough to be able to change and move quickly, but we're big enough to implement it. But we're not too big that we can't.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoy that position. I enjoy being below the parapet in a lot of the time, because we are the S of the SME. There's only 10 of us, and people inspire me. I like people, and they're funny, as annoying or as upsetting or whatever they can be. They make me smile one way or another, and they inspire me. And the fact that we've had young people come here that couldn't drive, just couldn't, basically, and now they can. That is such a powerful inspiration to me, and I really, really appreciate it, and I'm really grateful of it. So from that, we do more things. Like literally, the interview room behind you, they've got two clairvoyants that have come in that are mates of mine.
Yeah.
Just to give people half an hour off and go talk to a witch. And it's a bit, yeah, but it's different, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
and
it.
You know what I mean? It's not like getting a Domino's pizza. Yeah, that's nice, but let's do something different.
Yeah.
And that inspires me. And being trading now, what we're doing now is we're trading in the black. I own all the stock, and people owe me a lot more money than what I owe them. That inspires me.
Mm-hmm.
my next step is to get 10% of our turnover in the bank in cash.
Mm-hmm. It's a good goal.
Then you're secure.
It's a good positive goal to be having. I like it.
Yeah, it's good. And when you get there, ask any. You're doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Ask them. You don't have to tell them. You don't have to tell you any numbers. Have you got 10% of your turnover in the bank as a backstop?
Mm-hmm.
What do you reckon? 99% would be no.
Be pretty high, yeah. You know, in terms of
if it's anything less than 95%, take note of those companies. Buy shares.
Another good bit of advice. Thank you. So is there any latest news around your business that you'd want to share? Any sort of things of note that you might want to direct people to, that you're up to, or even if it's a website, anything like that?
Yeah, we one thing my ex-wife did leave me was the name of the company, called Top of the Range. So if you put Top of the Range into any search engine, we will come up on page 1.
Cool. We'll have a look at it. We'll check it out there. Roy,
yeah,
it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. Thank you very much for your time. And let's hope it goes from strength to strength, another 30 years at least in the business, and you get that 10% goal.